So I've been in crypto for approximately a year now, full time. Full time meaning paying attention to it as much as I have been and being able to create videos and content and be engaged in this community. And at this moment in time, I think the sentiment around crypto from people in crypto is probably the worst that it's been. And so this video is just here because we're going to put things in perspective because we love to do that. And we're going to talk about this real quick. But if you are new here, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. I would appreciate it very much. My name is dantedefi. Let's get right into it. First thing is first. If you didn't already know, we are partnered with the world's first authenticated and licensed NFT platform, Ethernity Chain, and I wanted to bring you some updates surrounding Ethernity Chain because it is very, very relevant to what I'm talking about right now, which is the perspective of where crypto is going and the adoption we are seeing, despite what prices may suggest or what macroeconomics may suggest. And so I did talk about the Luka Modric NFTs and the drop in a previous video. So that is actually going to be going live February 17th. So if you want to go and pre-register for that, make sure you do that. It's the 15th today, so that's 2 days from now. So again, make sure you go and pre-register with the link below. If you want to get in on those NFTs, I will put some of the examples of these NFTs probably during this video. They are absolutely unreal. And now I have an article related to Ethernity and Eternal Labs, which is actually huge news. So Ethernity, the original authenticated NFT platform, is excited to announce a first-of-a-kind incubator and technology studio leveraging the interactivity and utility of Web3 tech. So essentially, they are creating a incubator called Eternal Labs that is going to serve as an all-in-one destination for athletes, musicians, celebrities, digital creators, all to get in on the NFT game and start providing either community tokens, NFTs, and just all of these different kinds of digital assets for their communities. And they've already proved that they are really, really serious and bringing only the best in terms of the standard of celebrities and, in my opinion, athletes that they have brought on. Like I have said many times, I'm a huge fan of soccer, aka football, for those of you who don't live in the US. And I also have exciting news about Man United because they had some crazy announcements over there. But what is crazy here is that Ethernity Chain is really, really building an ecosystem that is most importantly completely centered around their native token. And they actually said this in this article as well. The Eternal Labs ecosystem will be organized around the native ERC or ERN token. And you can see right here all of the different parts of the ecosystem they're building. So guys, again, just as a larger perspective, what is being built right now is what you should be paying attention to rather than what the price of specific tokens are doing. And that's why I'm not bringing you, a new gem or whatever every single time I talk to you, because truly this stuff is pretty paradigm shifting that is occurring. So social platforms for fan tokens. So imagine being able, and this already exists, imagine being able to invest in the community token for your team, and there's only 5 million in the world. For example, for Man United, if there was only 5 million tokens, you know how fast that would get eaten up, or Barcelona, or any of these massive. I look at football teams because it's the biggest and most followed sport in the world, and it's one of those connecting things between all sorts of communities. So I use soccer as an example of one of those things that can really, really showcase how huge crypto can be and all of these different aspects of Web3. And so, again, what I want to remind you of in today's video is really as simple as we are still very, very early to crypto, but we are at an inflection point. And when I say inflection point, I mean simply this. This is a chart of internet usage history versus crypto users. And so it's showing you exactly how we went from 1993, when I guess the internet was an advent to society. Again, I wasn't around back then. And how we saw the growth of it as time went on. And you can see around 2001, between 1999 and 2001, or I would say 1997 and 2001, is when we basically took off. We had a liftoff. This is when websites were being created, and essentially the peer-to-peer communication that the internet provided was able to be fully realized, and people started developing things and actually building stuff on top of the internet. And then since then, we've never looked back, right? The internet has just been a part of our lives that we've expected to be a part of our lives for those of us who have never lived without the internet. But I can tell you, yes, I was young when this first started, but I wasn't young enough to not realize the impact the internet had. And I can tell you, and obviously you know this, it was huge. And the inflection point we are at right now, again, you can see the little purple line right here, the dashed line, that is crypto. And we are at the inflection point where you can see right now, we're in 1999, moving into the 2000s. We're just at the takeoff point. We are just at the point where mass adoption isn't going to occur in a couple of months. It's not going to occur in a couple or in a year. It's going to occur very slowly, but as it's happening, you're not even going to realize it's happening. It's just going to continue growing. I see a lot of people talk about, when mass adoption occurs, or when this happens, or when so-and-so happens. It's happening. We are at the point right now where growth and adding of users into the crypto space is occurring. You can see that there's a lot of hype right now. This is the most hyped it probably will ever be, because everybody is now starting to realize, whoa, this is something that's not going away. Everybody in at least my circles of friends, of communities, of groups that aren't in crypto, a lot of them are now sort of understanding that, okay, there is something to this, especially if you're in the US and you're watching the Super Bowl and you know how big crypto was in terms of ads in the Super Bowl. They were basically the main talking point. So it's very interesting to me because culturally and socially, crypto is becoming a bigger part of just everyday life for people my age without them even really knowing it. And it's coming into discussion a lot more. Why? Not because, right now crypto's booming in terms of price and that we're going to have this massive upwards trend that will never end. That's not what's happening right now, because there's so many uncertainties in the macroeconomic space. There's so much fear and doubt with where crypto and all of these markets are going to go in the short term. Keep in mind, we are in very uncertain times in general. But when you go and you kind of push away all of the noise that we are sitting in right now, what's happening right now is the smartest people are making sure that they're looking into this, and they are making sure that they are involved with whatever is being built, whatever is going to be successful. And now we don't necessarily know what is going to be successful, but we're, on this channel at least, that's what we're trying to do. We spend hours and hours, we spend so much time looking for what we believe is going to be a part of that future. And I know I say future a lot, but really it's not the future. In the present moment right now, there are some of the smartest and maybe the smartest people in the world building things, trying to build things, trying to bring this to people and show people that this is something that is not going away. And so for all of you who maybe have gotten into crypto in the last year and are discouraged because, your projects aren't doing well or whatever you invested in isn't doing well, and I know that this is present in the community because I read every single comment that you post on my videos. I read every single tweet that you guys send me. So I know what the sentiment is. And I'm telling you, you have a decision to make. You can either leave the space now and watch it grow like the internet did parabolically and really without any slowing down for the next 5, 10, 20 years because you weren't willing to be patient enough to wait right now during the maybe more uncertain times. But is that really the best thing for you to do? You're early right now, and maybe for some of you, or maybe for some of us, too early because of the fact that it's not happening as fast as we would like. What I will say is, guys, don't get discouraged. I'm only here, like I've said many times before, to remind you of where we're going, not necessarily where we are at this moment in time, just based on price, because we're all subject to it. We're all subject to this feeling of it needs to happen now, instant gratification. We need to see the results of whatever these projects or these teams are trying to build. We have to be able to give the builders time to do what they're trying to do, right? Like if someone gives you a extremely detailed roadmap for the next 5 years and 3 months in, you're already doubting them and you're already blowing them up and telling them listen, I don't believe in this anymore. The price of your token's going down, blah, blah, blah. Then you're missing the point of what's going on. Crypto or blockchain specifically, this technology could enable and empower a lot of people, regardless of social status, where they come from, and a lot of things. And I know I don't want to sound idealistic or anything like that or push my views onto you, but really what I'm trying to say is this has a lot of potential to do a lot of good, and we need to keep as many good people who want this to go in the right direction as we can in the space. So I urge you to not get discouraged by prices going down, to not get discouraged if things that you thought were going to go one way didn't go your way, because in the long run, and I 100% believe this, in the long run, things will work out. And if you are willing to pay attention to the space and put in, and it's not a lot of time, just a little bit of extra time or any of the extra time that you have to look into what could potentially be part of that paradigm shifting future, which is Web3, which is crypto, then you will be very successful. And the success is already there. You don't even need to worry about the success. You don't even need to worry about the monetary side of things. Now you're just looking at, well, how can I get as many people involved in this before it takes off, or before it really starts getting to the point where, all right, now crypto is a part of everybody's lives. Nobody really talks about it anymore because we're so used to it. At that point, you're late. We're not there yet. We're going from early adopters to the part where everything starts going up like crazy, where it's hyper growth. This is right here from 2001 to now. That was the stage of hyper growth in technology, the network effect of all of these different websites and applications that were created on Web 2.0. That is what occurred. Now we are literally maybe 1 or 2 years away from a period of time where crypto growth just doesn't stop. And with even all of the macroeconomic factors being considered, if you look at inflation, if you look at the strength of the dollar in the US at least, they're weak. People are looking for hedges against traditional currencies. Why? Because people are starting to understand that traditional currencies aren't really that safe, because of the fact that when we talk about supply and demand scarcity, if we're able to just continue printing money as much as we want, there has to be a place to shovel all that money into and lock it up. And crypto is the perfect thing for that. And I can't tell you, this is just a gut feeling and a true intuitive feeling that it seems like all of the chips are stacked in crypto's favor, but there's way too many people being skeptical of if it's actually going to be realized or the potential is going to be realized, when all we have to do is sit on our hands and wait. Look, pay attention, observe, and wait. And like I said, you can share projects with me that you believe is going to be a part of that. I will share ones with you. The only ones I share with you are the ones that I believe are going to be around for the long run. That's why I take Eternity Chain as a partner, because look at what they're doing. They're doing some incredible things. It's not just, things to kind of squawk at. They're trying to create an ecosystem where play to earn, and social platforms and tokens and NFTs and all these things are combined in a massive scale in which all of us are able to interact and gain value from. So I'm all about empowering people in terms of what is these kinds of technologies going to do to empower individuals to have better lives, have a better understanding of how they can live their lives. Because if money no longer becomes a problem in everyone's life, hopefully the case will be that instead of worrying about, oh, how am I going to make my next paycheck, or how am I going to make or put food on the table, maybe we'll start thinking about, oh, how do we progress humanity? These are just like some bigger ideas that, constantly bring me back to the space every single day and constantly bring me back into talking to you guys. I know it's sort of like an absolutely random rant, but this is truly how I feel. And so, like I said, I didn't want to bring you anything specific, but again, this is massive. Like Manchester United confirms Tezos sponsorship. These crypto companies have so much money that at this moment in time, a project like Tezos is able to become a branding sponsor for the biggest, probably one of the biggest sports teams. And I believe it is. I don't know about, at least in revenue terms, I think Man United is one of the biggest sports clubs in the world. We are at a very big inflection point, like I said. So again, this video had no structure. I just wanted to get on here today and just remind you of where we are. And where we're going. And hopefully this helps you realize that there's a lot to be excited about. And, the price in the short term or the price in the present moment, so long as you're doing your research, so long as you have a time horizon that is a long-term time horizon, you have nothing to worry about. All that being said, guys, I appreciate every last one of you guys so much. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did watch till the end of the video, make sure you leave a comment, real ones only. I really do appreciate all of you. Like and subscribe, and go check out the links for Eternity Chain in the description. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.